Resource Materials and Technology Center for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, Teacher of the Deaf Hard of Hearing Spotlight, Felicia Massie, Okeechobee County District, Progress Monitoring. RMTC-DHH is proud to present our Teacher Spotlight this month, Felicia Massie. Interview with Felicia Massie. What tools do you use for progress monitoring?
The tools we use for progress monitoring is that each student has a progress monitoring binder, and inside their binder is their annual IEP with data collected for that IEP, as well as each student has a student binder that holds their expanded skills curriculum, their Fairview curriculum, Fingerspelling Our Way curriculum, or sign fluency curriculum.
How do you teach your students to monitor their own progress?
We meet annually with our students and do an interview and go through their expanded skill checklist to view which standards they've mastered or which standards we need to continue to work on. We also make goals for them to incorporate their strategies that they're learning, whether it's through fingerspelling their way through reading, their sign reading fluency, Fairview, and we use student rubrics and teacher rubrics. We use Skyward, which is our district access gradebook, and have our students look at their current grades, graph those grades daily or weekly, look at if they're missing any assignments and how that will correlate to their GPA average. After we look at the students' grades and their GPA average, we will discuss looking at the areas of their classwork. If they have good classwork and their grades seem low in quizzes and tests, are the accommodations they're using appropriate, not appropriate? We'll talk about how to advocate for those accommodations. We might need to role play so that they can do that appropriately.
What information do you keep in the progress monitoring binders?
In their notebooks, each notebook could be different. So in their notebook, they have their student information in the front, and then they have their academic placement, which will have their IEP, any current assessments for psychological. Their communication plan is in here, along with their audiological and medical, social, emotional, independent functioning is in here as well, and anything else that might pertain to them.
How does progress monitoring and the progress monitoring binders help you in planning for IEPs?
I'll bring this with us when we go for review of their annual IEP and kind of talk about their accommodations. So I'll pull out their actual IEP. We'll look through the current accommodations that they have and discuss if they think that they need those or if we need to add them or add anything or take it away. In the event that I'm pulled into a meeting at the last minute, it's helped me to be able to put my hands on the data that I need to bring into that meeting to show if the student is showing progress or isn't showing progress, and if we need to keep the accommodations the same or change or tweak what the student needs to be successful in the classroom.
How do you use the expanded skills standards to drive your progress monitoring?
I use my expanded skills checklist that is aligned with the expanded skills standards, and this checklist is broken down through grade levels from K through 12, and we use this to help us make decisions on their instructions, their IEP goals, if there's any gaps in those specific standards that they need to work on, and it's all prioritized in their notebook. So we keep track of it ourselves, and the students also keep track of it as they master those goals. Each student has like a student notebook or a binder for their expanded skills curriculum or work that we do that we house in their binder, and then as they master them, they mark them off. Each binder can be different. One student just might be working on expanded skills, where other students are working on expanded skills. Maybe Fairview is in there as well. Fingerspelling Their Way to Reading might be in that binder too.
Why is progress monitoring important?
Progress monitoring is important for teachers and staff so that we can collect that data that's going to be appropriate for each student, so that we can make sure that their academics are aligned to what they need. It's important for the students because they actually get to see their success from the beginning to the end if they progress monitor themselves, and it builds their confidence.
Thank you, Okeechobee County School District. Thank you, Mrs. Massie, for being a great teacher. This video is copyrighted by RMTC-DHH Music written and performed by Samuel McIntyre.